WuLift gets an athlete from a 185 to 215 pound snatch in the same session. Kyle Martins Jr. was able to front squat 191 kilos at just 15 years old. I have 2 ways for you to improve your handstand push-up and one crazy idea about how athletes should be more accountable for their rep counting standards. This is 3, 2, 1 and it starts now. So many epic moments to choose from this week, it was really hard to narrow it down to just 3. But this week, the 3 epic moments are gonna feature some pretty phenomenal performances. And we're gonna start off with a coaching performance, and it's by WuLifts. Now, you might have seen WuLifts as a bit of a familiar character around the CrossFit community, as she is the person that kind of narrates all of the 1 rep max lifting videos at the CrossFit Games. Now, WuLift is obviously a weightlifting coach, and a very good one, if that. For her to be able to have the ability to get her athlete to snatch 185 pounds and fail, and then go in the exact same session to a 215 pound successful snatch, it's incredible. Here's the video.
So by the time you extend, you don't get to this position to be able to fully extend. You have to extend a little early. All day long. The shrug and the pull, I'll give you that little bit more to get in the bar. Let's go. Up. Good job.
That man doesn't just look happy, he looks grateful. That's a 30-pound increase on his snatch in the same session just by working technique. The point of that, guys, is technique is key, especially in our Olympic weightlifting movements. Our second video is Kyle Martins Jr., who is a 15-year-old Olympic weightlifter. This kid is strong and he front squats 191 kilograms for a PR. Here's the video. Now that is an impressive lift. Man can nearly front squat more than I can deadlift. And he kind of doesn't really look like the kind of kid that would be front squatting that kind of weight. You see this man at school? He's lifting up a truck. Our final moment comes from Pedro Martins, and it's his celebration after achieving his barbell complex. Yes, at Copa Sur, a big somebody kind of overshadowed pretty much all of the other competitors. And you might not have heard of this kid, but this kid is strong, this kid is fit, and his celebration is fitting of a champion. Here it is. They were the 3 epic moments from this week's selection of choices. Be sure to send me in your epic moment at Tyler J. Hamilton on my Instagram, whether it's from you, your best mate, or your favorite athlete. Are you struggling to develop your handstand push-up or handstand skills? I did a poll recently that highlighted that most of you guys are actually struggling in these particular movements. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be releasing 2 ways to help improve your handstand push-up to get from barely even being able to perform one to be able to successfully smashing out sets of 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. Here's the video, let's head to the gym. And here's 2 ways to help you improve your handstand push-up. We're gonna start with the strength of the movement. Now, looking at your handstand push-up, it's gonna look at one of these 3 different levels. Either you can't do it at all, you can do one, but it's a huge struggle, or you can do one easily and you're looking at getting more and more reps. Let's start by developing the strength of the shoulders and the rear delts. A great movement to do this, seated press from the ground. So, using dumbbells, of course heavier than my ones, you want to be sitting on the floor and looking at pressing overhead, squeezing your shoulder blades at the top, and then coming back down. This unstableness of being on the floor will force you to engage your core, and it will also work your rear delts a lot more than a standard shoulder press will. Secondly, we're looking at developing our stability in the movement. The easiest way to develop stability in a handstand is a handstand hold. A couple of variations of how we can attack this depending on your skill level.
Starting off with our most basic option, we'll be wall climbing up into a handstand hold position. Get as high as you possibly can before you physically can't go any further, and then just hold that position for around about 20 seconds, repeat 3 times. If you're a bit above the wall climb, of course we can just kick up into our handstand, simple as that. With our handstand hold, same idea, 3 sets, 20 seconds with a bit of rest in between. Once again though, if you're a little bit more advanced than that and you feel like you've got a bit more ball in the game, try this. Tabata handstand holds. If you're able to complete 8 sets of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off in the Tabata handstand hold, then you've definitely got strength and stability in your shoulders. Give it a try, it's an absolute arm burner. That is 2 ways to help develop your handstand push-up. Next week we're going to go through some more difficult ways to help improve it if you're more towards that level 3 option of that complete handstand with ease. Make sure to like the video and subscribe.
One crazy idea. 2 weeks ago, I came up with a crazy idea how they should ban the butterfly pull-up from the CrossFit Games. The next week, my idea was talking about powerlifting and how I believe that they should standardize the way that powerlifters are able to perform the bench press instead of these ridiculous arches. This week, we're going to cover why I believe the CrossFit Games community, specifically the athletes, need to hold themselves more accountable. Now, you might have seen Andrew Hiller popping up all over the place for roasting these athletes about their reps, and particularly the reps that they counted, which they probably shouldn't get. These are the top athletes of our sport, which is more frustrating when you see them not performing things to standard. Now, over the years, there's been plenty of different situations where this has arisen. Regardless of the situation, it can be quite disorientating as the spectator, knowing that these are the top athletes in the sport and they should be the best at the standards provided. However, it seems that a lot of these standards are, not really met. Holding yourself accountable and showing integrity is key in these situations. Cole Sager is a huge example of integrity at the highest level, where during the Rogue Invitational in 2019, he didn't cut through the field to try and finish the event, unlike his competitors, Matt Fraser and Patrick Vellner. Now, obviously on their mind was winning, and on Cole Sager's mind was doing the right thing, and it paid off for this man, which is why it kind of makes it a bit uncertain for other athletes who aren't following this high golden standard that Cole has set. You're the best at the sport. You should be able to hold the standards better than anyone else. You have the most practice. You do it every time you set up for a workout. Yet time and time again, athletes get away with shitty technique, poor rep standards, and they just don't care. So Andrew Hiller is a godsend to this community for ripping into these athletes for their poor standards. I don't really need to focus on it too much. What I ask is for a solution. My solution is simple. Train how you would compete. Many of the top athletes do it, but some still get away with poor rep standards. You should be setting yourself up that every time you perform a workout, you're imagining that there's a judge, specifically Adrian Bosman, right there watching your reps. If you have doubt that your rep is even close to borderline, you should cut it and be like, damn, that one didn't count. Even if it means that your time in your particular training workout is cut short. Because if you practice what you preach, if you practice poor form, you're going to perform with poor form, as seen with some specific athletes in the recent semi-finals. The fact that these athletes get away with this form makes it even more frustrating for us as competitors, or even just as spectators, because we know that in our gym, our CrossFit coaches and judges hold us to even higher standards than some of these top athletes. Have integrity, be better, and be an influencer for your community, because you are. You're at the top of the sport. You should hold yourself accountable for your form. And that's it, guys. That is today's video done and dusted. What are your thoughts? Comment down below anything you think about this video. We'll have a discussion. As always, follow all of my social medias as I post regular reels, videos, and different kind of content pieces from these videos and other videos that you may not see. And as always, you guys at home, stay a beast.